Been a long time since I made one of these talking head videos, but quarantine, so you already know. I figured it'd be a good ass time for me to share to you what I think is the best budget camera for 2020. Let me roll the intro real quick though. I got this really shitty old B-roll of it, but this is the Sony A6500. If you're a filmmaker or you want to get your YouTube channel started, I really think this is the best camera you can get for the money. So let's talk about what this camera has to offer. First of all, for video, this camera can shoot in 4K, 24 frames a second. It shoots in 1080p at 30 frames per second, 60 and 120 frames per second. Which is like, you know, some of y'all want to get crazy with that buttery smooth Peter McKinnon ass B-roll, which I use it all the time. It's got 120 frames per second, which I love. You get the smoothest B-roll out of 120, so that was for me a big thing. This camera is a beast in the low light, like complete beast. Here's some footage of something I shot in the low light. This camera also is a crop sensor, is an APS-C sensor. For what it can do, like you can't even really be mad at like the fact that it's a crop sensor. Like you're not gonna get everything this camera has to offer in a full frame for the price. This camera basically has everything the A7 III has to offer minus what? The fucking, okay, a couple things. The sensor is not full frame. The autofocus isn't as fast, and it doesn't have HLG. And yeah, it probably does better in the low light. The A7 III does, but this shit's still a beast. It does everything that camera does. That one just does it better. You know what I mean? So I've been using this shit for forever. I'm using it right now. That's why I can't really show you. See, I'm literally using it right now. I have it set up on this rig, but I've been using this camera for like 3 years already, and we're in 2020, and like I'm shooting this in it. So like, does this look good? It's in 4K. Like, I don't know. Okay, so let me just put it to you this way. This camera, I think if you buy it brand new, it's, I don't even know. I could look it up right now if you want me to, but I do know this camera you could buy it used on either MPB or Autorama, or B&H has it. You can buy it used for between like 500 to 600 bucks. You can find a used one. I would check MPB.com. I'm not sponsored in any way by MPB, but I have bought a used camera on there, and that shit came mint as hell. Like, nothing wrong with it at all. So MPB.com is definitely, I would say, a trustworthy website. Obviously, you could check eBay, wherever you're comfortable buying used shit. Just check. You could find this shit for like 500-600 bucks because of the A6600. Now the A6600 is like the same fucking camera, to be honest, but the only difference is the autofocus is faster and it offers HLG picture profile. This doesn't have HLG, and for those that don't know what HLG is basically S-Log, but you can start your ISO at 200 versus S-Log now you started at like 800, I think it is, which is cool as fuck, but I mean, you gotta think about the price. You know, why is this camera so cheap now? Because the newer ones have a little bit more to offer. And then like the 6600 is the same thing, but another thing is like blazing fast autofocus, they claim. So it's like HLG and autofocus is the only thing they improved, and that's like what, $1,500 now. Might as well just buy this camera used. I'm gonna show you guys some examples. I've shot weddings with this camera. I've shot music videos with this camera. I shoot these vlogs with this camera. Like, you just can't beat it. For the same price range, brand new, 500-600 bucks, you could get the Lumix G7. That's like the cheapest camera I know of. I know, in my opinion, this one is offers better for the price range. Straight up, the question is like, who's this camera for? To be honest, this camera's for whoever the hell wants to get started. I feel like if you're a professional always would go with like a full frame camera, but like, I don't know, to me, like it took me a while to understand this, but to me, it's what you can do with it. Now, this camera has a lot to offer, so you put that in a bowl with whatever the fuck you can do and your skills, you could make some fire. Like I said, I've shot weddings with this shit, music videos, vlogs, photos. For photographers, I'll show you guys some photos I've shot with this camera. At the end of the day, it's what you can do with it. A lot of pros would be like, hell no. They would say no to APS-C sensor because they need a full frame sensor, which hell yeah. But like, if you're trying to get started and you want to get a camera that offers a lot, go with this camera. In my opinion, I think it's the best bang for your buck in 2020 to get started. Even from, it's not like, this is not to say like this is a beginner's camera, because I don't even think it's like a beginner's camera. To me, a beginner's camera is like something cheaper than this. This is just Sony advanced in their cameras, so now these are cheaper. Used at least, because if you buy it new, it'll be, I think, like $1,000 still. Or maybe like $9, something like that, I don't know. But a couple things before I end the video, which you guys would probably want to know. What are the cons about this camera? The batteries. The batteries fucking suck, especially when you're shooting in 4K. This shit will eat your battery when you're shooting in 4K. But it's an older model, they don't have the newer, what is it, the fucking, I forgot what the name of the batteries are for the newer ones. They're like smaller batteries, whatever. But it doesn't have Sony's newer, I think it's, whatever. It doesn't have Sony's newer batteries. The battery sucks. I have like 10 batteries for this camera. But, price range, you gotta think about that, like, whatever. And then the batteries are cheap for the camera. Like, you could get some on Amazon for like $30 for like 4 batteries. It'll come with a charger. Is that my only con? It does get hot if you're shooting like consistently in 4K. I probably had an issue with like it saying that the camera was too hot maybe once, and it was because I was shooting outside and it was hot outside and the camera was getting hot, so it overheated. Other than that, I never really had a problem. But that's about it. I'm gonna leave it right there. You already know that this video is about to end, so I'm gonna just make it short. Peace out.